Hi, my name is Reed Dunbar, and I'm a Senior Transportation Planner for the City of Eugene. Today I'm going to talk about the Complete Streets Design Guide. This design guide is used to determine the layout of street elements in the public rights-of-way based on location, land use, street classification, and multimodal needs. First, let's talk about the City of Eugene's overall vision for streets. Eugene aspires to have a complete, comprehensive, and integrated transportation network designed to allow safe and convenient travel for people of all ages and abilities. To achieve that vision, the Complete Streets Design Guide identifies a modal hierarchy starting with our most vulnerable transportation users, people walking. It's followed by people riding bicycles, then ensuring safe and comfortable routes for an efficient transit network. And lastly, devoting the space needed to ensure the mobility of motor vehicles. This modal hierarchy is driven by the city's Vision Zero policy, recommended mode split set forth in the Transportation System Plan, and in consideration of the city's Climate Recovery Ordinance. Next, I'll talk about the city's Complete Streets goals. There are 4 goals for designing complete streets. The first goal is to provide livability so that people can access their destinations using whichever travel mode they prefer. The second is ensuring health and safety in the design and to encourage active transportation trips. Third is to accommodate all travel modes and to recognize that the needs of someone walking may differ from the needs of freight haulers, and the design of the street should respond accordingly. Lastly, we want to reduce life cycle costs of the street elements and to integrate green infrastructure whenever possible. Now that you have a background on what the Complete Streets Design Guide is trying to do, let's talk about how to use it in practice. First, you'll need to determine the type of street that you are designing. The guide includes 10 different typologies based on functional classification, land use context, and modal hierarchy. Let's look at an example. For this example, we're going to look at commercial main street and a commercial suburban street. Context is a major consideration in the Complete Streets Design Guide. For example, take these 2 streets. They are both minor arterials in classification, but on top we have a commercial main street, and on the bottom we have a commercial suburban street. Notice that the commercial main street on the top prioritizes bicycling more than the commercial suburban street, and it also offers more pedestrian elements overall. Once the street typology is determined, we can move on to selecting the design parameters. For example, sidewalk zones are wider in some typologies based on their land use context. So let's look at a commercial main street. In this example, cafe seating and pedestrian accommodation requires a wider sidewalk and creates a more vibrant street environment overall. In terms of roadway elements, there are certain street typologies that require wider travel lanes. In this example, let's look at industrial. For example, an industrial street must be designed to meet the needs of freight vehicles, which are much larger than regular passenger vehicles and require wider travel lanes. Intersection design is also a critical component of complete street design. And certain elements should only be used where appropriate. Examples may include slip lanes, small curb radii, and traffic circles. Outside of the streets, the guide also identifies standards for access ways and for shared use paths. The design and operational widths will vary depending on the volume of traffic expected. So if we have more people walking and biking, we would expect those types of shared use paths to be wider. Lastly, the guide recommends coordinated implementation of complete streets. This includes conversations with the designers, maintenance staff, and with outside agencies such as lane transit districts. So what's next for complete streets? We're working to collect feedback on this draft guide from city staff and also from interested parties in the first half of 2024. In the second half, we'll start the formal adoption process. Lastly, if you have any questions about the Complete Streets Design Guide, please contact me via email or give me a call. Thank you.